Be inspired, informed, and up to date. Tune in to Track's Momentum interview feature of the day at 11:15 a.m. Join us as we speak to our panel of guests on various topics. Health on Tracks on Monday. Tuesday, Spectrum. Wednesday, What Matters? Face to face with our guests on Thursdays. And on Friday, tune in to W Talk. Tracks Momentum, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Only on Tracks FM.
The latest hits, the latest news, the latest happenings. On Tracks FM.
Good morning, Malaysia. Otto here, coming to you live from Angkasa Puri, Kuala Lumpur. A special interview for Momentum right here. And our guest for today is a very special person. If you want to know more, you can also log on to our website, at our Facebook Live right now at Tracks FM Official. That's TRAXXFM OFFICIAL. And today we have Yang Berhormat Dato Sri Hajah Nancy Shukri, the Minister from Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture. Thank you so much for being with us today. And you are pressed for time. I'm very sure that you are.
Well, thank you for having me anyway.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Now, without further ado, we would like to straight go down to the first question over here. Dato Sri, the borders have been reopened as we know it. So how is the response so far?
Well, of course, overwhelming. From the time, the 1st April, especially when everybody was looking forward to that moment, everybody has already made plans to go touring, and not only touring, but some of them, they're from other countries, coming back to Malaysia. If you see what happened in Singapore, for those Malaysians who are coming back on that night, 12 midnight, I felt for them. It was like Hari Raya for me, and that's where you can see how overwhelming the response was. And then apart from that, we have the international tourists who are from other countries. They're coming to our country, and everybody felt so relieved when everything is over for them. And with the 1st of May, when all the SOPs were relaxed for them, it's another celebration for us, because in one way or another, for us in Tourism Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, for us it's like opening back to all the people, and especially the economy, because the tourism sectors have been contributing about 15.9% to our GDP. So this is what we want to see. But having said that, we also have to still be cautious whenever we are with many people. Let us be the person who judge for ourselves whether we need to wear a mask, whether we need to, whether the SOPs need to be observed in terms of where we are, especially when we're indoor. So all these are factors that would be attracting people coming to our country, because they know that when they come to our country, everything is relaxed. There's no more quarantine. There are other countries who are still having quarantine as part of their procedure, but not for Malaysia. So that's how, from the way I talk, how happy I am. I'm excited because, I have been asked by many people, when are we going to open the borders, So this is it. The response is overwhelming. We are targeting 2 million this year.
2 million?
This year, yeah.
Wow.
Perhaps
even more.
That's to me is a conservative figure, because taking into account there are other countries that are still not open yet.
Yes.
Like China, still not open yet. And normally China, we normally receive a lot of tourists from China. And then Korea, Japan, Indonesia is still not open yet. Brunei, the nearest to especially Sarawak, Sabah. So that's why I said 2 million is a very conservative figure, with the hope that there'll be more. And let's cross our fingers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, how do you compare the tourism industry performance pre-COVID-19 and how much has changed since then?
Well, the pre-COVID, 2019, as I mentioned, 15.9% contributed to our GDP. But during COVID, we even lost about 90% because there's no tourists coming in.
Exactly.
I do not like to talk about the sad part of it. I would like to take COVID-19 era as an era whereby we relook into what we have, or what else that we can do to enhance even upgrade to prepare ourselves for our country. So our recovery plan is something like, what is our strategy for the next time when we are open. So our strategy was to rebuild confidence among the tourists who are coming in, even among our locals. When we opened the domestic tourism, our locals were, wow! I mean, it was so nice to see our locals visiting our own country, visiting their own kampong, which a lot of products have not been exposed before that. We have not unveiled a lot of things. So this is another factor that I see that we need to increase more of our products, local products, from by involving the local communities in tourism industry.
But it's just a miracle seeing that a lot of the locals as well are going back to not to their roots but more. How would you say it? They're adventuring towards all around the country.
Going back to nature.
Going back to nature, especially.
Yeah.
And speaking about recovery, Dato Sri, how do you find that the ministry is going to recover through this?
Well, I see that it's quite fast. I mean, surprisingly, even though, because before that people were a bit pessimistic about the reopening, because a lot of things have not been ready in terms of especially workers for the hoteliers. It's picking up because we have already requested for the Human Resource Ministry to also assist our sectors, because the hoteliers, they need more workers. Restaurants need workers as well. So but they're picking up. If you ask the local hotels, they say that they're full. I mean, I personally, whenever I go to the hotel, I ask them. It is my business to find out what exactly is the status of the hotels in our country. And then some even told me, please tell the world that our hotels is full and they are all booked by international tourists. You see how happy we are. We hear good things, all the feel-good factor. And one thing, the behavior of tourists this time slightly different from before, because maybe because of the COVID-19, the behavior of the tourists is that they don't dare to really travel in big groups. They tend to travel in small groups. That's why you see people are getting closer to nature, because they see that nature is really safe for them. They go for trekking. This is where I can see that sometimes some of them are couples, some are just friends, families, but not really in big group. So this is not really happening that big yet. So only the small groups will go among themselves. But the numbers of the small groups are many, especially thanks to our local tourists, our own people.
Yeah, thank you so much, Malaysia, for helping Malaysia. We're one big happy family, and make sure that we support local as well.
Yeah.
Now, if you're listening to us right now live on radio, we are also live on our Facebook page right now at Tracks FM Official, and we're talking to Dato Sri Haja Nancy Shukri. She's the Minister of Tourism, of Arts and Culture. And now, moving on to the next question here. As you said, Dato Sri, 2 million tourist arrival, that's estimated for this month, this year. What has been done so far to achieve that number?
Well, I mentioned it's a very conservative figure because of the rest of the country. Some of them are still not open. Some of them, because of the quarantine period, that when they go back to their own country, they'll be quarantined. So that discourages them from traveling. But having said that, we have to be prepared. So we have our agency called MICEP, Malaysian Convention Exhibition Bureau. So this is where we can multiply the numbers of the tourists through their business events. So each business event, they will bring in about 7,000 or 5,000, 7,000 or even more than that. The participants. Well, participants sometimes they bring in their family members. So this multiply the numbers of tourists coming in, and mostly these are all international. So this is part of our effort to increase the number, and with the hope that China will open soon, Japan will open soon, and then from there, the minute they come in, there'll be more. I'm not mentioned about India. India has already indicated that. I've just came back from Dubai, so I spoke to the Arab countries. They seem to be very interested, very keen to come to Malaysia. But India has already targeted Malaysia as their wedding destinations.
Oh wow!
So this is another another event that we would expect more when they have this wedding destination. Malaysia as wedding destination. They'll bring in their families, all this. The numbers will, of course, will be multiplied by the numbers of those who are just arranging for the wedding. So the family members, friends, So this will also be another factor that will contribute to the increase in number of our tourists. So I hope to see more of this happening. And for the Arab countries, suddenly I came up something. I thought something that has to be introduced to the Arab countries. Before this, they only know Penang. They only know Genting. They only know Langkawi. They don't really know much about Malaysia because perhaps we have not really promoted so much of Malaysia. But this time, when I went there, and I realized that we have our products that we need to share with them. Number one is our textiles. So we have a lot of designers who can design our textiles, our batik, our songket, our tenun, to suit the needs of the GCC, the Arab countries, the people from the Arab countries. And apart from that, and I noticed that they have a lot of young couples, honeymooners. Let them come to our country and explore our country. And maybe before this, they have been depending so much on public transport. So this time, I want caravan or motorhomes to be our tourism product. I've been talking to the Minister of Transport. With their assistance, we will be able to bring in more of these, the caravans, to be used by our tourists, especially young people. I'm sure they want to try to see our greens, getting close to nature. So this is another product that I'm trying to promote for Malaysia.
So that also translates to the Malaysian economy. It helps out the Malaysian economy.
Oh yes, yeah.
Would you say that it has added more value in this year?
Well, actually, thanks to the COVID-19 break, because that's the time when we discover our crafts, our handicrafts. There's a lot of handicrafts that we can sell over there. And for us in Motek, we have our craft tangan. We sell through eCraft, the bazaar. We have the craft on the go, the craft shop. We have a lot of products, especially even from the rural areas in the interiors, like over here, the Orang Asli, they produce the baskets, the Sarawak Sabah, the interiors. We see that. Personally, because I'm really a craft person, I observe in terms of quality of the products that we have now, and you can see a lot of the baskets are really being highly demanded, and it's very cheap. So the crafts for Malaysia, you can see their additional products, and then additional in terms of the quality, like parang, the kris, because we help our industry players to help them to sell. Whatever that they have done, we took picture of it. We brought our equipments with us. Some of them they cannot promote online because they don't have the facility. We help them, so we see that our handicrafts are already booming as well.
Yeah.
So this is economy to our people.
Dato, would you say that Malaysia has one of the oldest rainforests in the world, which contributes also to our handcraft?
Yes.
One of the oldest, right? All right. Dato, as the tourism industry is heavily affected by COVID-19, it was announced during the tabling of Budget 2022 that a sum of 30 million ringgit is allocated to matching grants for the repair of 738 budget hotels that are registered under MOTAC, as well as for registered homestay owners, with 50 million ringgit in matching grants to companies to organize arts and culture programs, as well as 60 million ringgit in incentive funds for activities to promote domestic tourism, and among others. Now, will the current allocation be enough?
Well, we hope it is. Actually, we have started since last 2 years, with regard to stimulus packages. Not with the matching grants, because no events could be held during the last 2 years. But the matching, the stimulus packages have been there to help our tourism industry, especially to encourage our locals to stay in hotels. So there's discount. Traveling by air, by public transport, they're given discount, vouchers for them to buy handicrafts. But for this year, the budget for this year, we also allocate grants for those who, especially the SMEs. We have 9,000 for each SME for them to renovate their hotels, their budget hotels, and also for homestays. But at the same time, we also give homestay owner about 1,008 for them to just to restart. Apart from the 30 million that is to be shared to renovate their properties. Now, the most interesting thing for this year is the matching grant for events, tourism events. About maximum is about 1 million. Well, they have to use their funds first. But for arts and culture, maximum is about 500,000. So we have 50 million for this year. So I've been telling people, okay, if you want it, please do it fast. They can download from our website. So those two are the new things that happen for this year, because we want more of our local events, concerts, shows, and then of course festivals that will be coming soon. Some of them are already being used because we have some balance last year. So they have been starting it since early part of the year. So we have to see more of that happening.
Thank you very much, Dato.
We can enjoy as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seeing that we're pressed for time, we're moving on to the next question over here. Can you tell us about the Majlis Rumah Terbuka Malaysia Hari Raya Aidilfitri 2022, and where and when will it be happening, and what are the highlights?
Well, after 2 years, there's never been a Majlis Rumah Terbuka MRTM. So this year, we're going to bring it back, Majlis Rumah Terbuka Raya in Terengganu. Why Terengganu? Well, Terengganu is one of the states in our country. All the states in our country has its own uniqueness, but this time Terengganu and of course Terengganu has a lot of products. They have a lot of islands, beautiful islands. You can go diving, you can enjoy and stay in any of the islands there. They also have that Tasik Kenyir. I went there myself, and I know that this is another beautiful tourism product. Their gastronomy. So Terengganu, with all their products, I know that will be able to attract more people. We want to sustain our local arts and culture, and also our heritage.
Definitely.
So Terengganu has all of them, and that needs to be continued on, especially by the new young generation, so that they know what they have in their country. And on the 20th, our Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri will be launching it, officiating the MRTM live on RTM1 on the 20th. Apart from that, they have also got their local events, which really suit to their own surrounding and their own arts and culture. They'll be having a lot of them.
Awesome.
So that will involve all sectors of the community in Terengganu.
Okay.
I know I'm pressing for time, so I'm trying to summarize it as well.
Thank you so much.
Well, I want to invite people to come to Terengganu.
Oh, please do. I will come too as well. So, Dato, what is your advice for those who are, attending the Majlis Rumah Terbuka Malaysia Hari Raya Aidilfitri 2022?
Well, of course, number one, we still have our SOPs. We are still at the endemic transition period. So I'm sure, as an individual, you know for yourself whether you are fit to go out to mix with people, or maybe some of them, they should know when they are too close with each other. The mask will still be there for you, especially if it is a closed venue. But having said that, if it is an open venue, you have to assess it for yourself, whether you need to put your face mask on. And then another advice is that come to Terengganu and enjoy the food there, the beauty of Terengganu, and the beauty of arts and culture that Terengganu has.
Dato, before I let you go, anything else that you'd like to add and tell our listeners out there? Is there anything you'd like to add?
Well, for me, we have a long way to go, especially in tourism. I would like to get our local people to keep introducing more products and then share it with us, share it with people, so that we can help people to monetize their products, their local products, and then we are able to help our own families to even increase to generate income for themselves and increase their own income for the family. So get more products to be introduced, share, and then we are very artistic people as well.
Oh yes, very creative as well.
Oh yeah, so. Use all those, monetize them, sell it to the people, and sell Malaysia for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dato Sri Haja Nancy Shukri, the Minister for Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture. Thank you so much once again for being with us.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, Selamat Hari Raya.
Selamat Hari Raya to you too. Okay, we're going to take a short break right now, and we'll be back with more. Stay tuned. This is Trax FM.